In April 2023, the Italian government declared a state of emergency to counter the biggest challenge on its shores, and that challenge is the migration crisis that is haunting European countries these days. Can you believe that around 160,000 immigrants arrived in Italy in the year of 2023? Yes, that is true. This sharp rise in the number of migrants crossing the dangerous Mediterranean Sea has raised alarm bells for Italy's security and other issues. For this reason, Italian Prime Minister Georgia Meloni urged the European Union to help control illegal immigrants and human smugglers. Not only this, she also has announced plans to build 2 centers in Albania to host thousands of illegal immigrants. It is quite shocking for everyone why an immigration-friendly country has cracked down on refugees and asylum seekers. Let's explore the main reasons behind it and how Italy resolved this daunting challenge of migration. For years, illegal immigration has been a controversial problem that has profound implications for both migrants and host countries. On top of that, the influx of undocumented migrants has sparked intense debates and questioned social and economic tensions. Among many other European countries, Italy has also grappled with a wave of immigration from conflict-ridden countries in the Middle East, North Africa, and South Asia. The question is, why is Italy bearing the brunt of a huge inflow of migrants? The answer lies in its geographical position. On the map, Italy is in close proximity to North Africa and the Middle East, so it is the main entry point for migrants coming from the sea. So this is the edge for migrants to find their way into Europe through Italy. In the 1980s, Italy witnessed strong economic growth that attracted many workers from Eastern Europe. These workers used to work in the industry and service sectors. That is the reason the immigration graph rose even higher after the 1980s. Interestingly, the Italian government at that time did not pay heed to the huge influx of migrants. So by the 2000s, Italy had more than 1 million immigrants, and many of them were not documented. During the last decade, irregular immigration from North Africa to Europe has been on the rise again, particularly along the central Mediterranean route. This route connects North African countries, mainly Libya and Tunisia, to Italy. One of the key locations that accommodates immigrants from several countries is Lampedusa Island on Italian shores. The Lampedusa Island is the closest European territory to North Africa. Simply put, it is the gateway to Europe. Some reception centers are set up on this island to manage people coming from shore. Being at the forefront of Europe's pressing issue, Italy has faced numerous challenges from illegal immigration. On one hand, Italy feels the pressing weight of hundreds of thousands of immigrants coming every year to its shores. That poses a grave danger to Italy's economic resources. Obviously, when more people arrive every year and resources are depleting, financial management gets disturbed. Additionally, illegal immigration has put an enormous drain on public funds in Italy. The reason is that accommodating unskilled migrants into a setup undermines the quality of education, healthcare, and other sectors. Not only this, but the industrial and manufacturing sectors do not develop under unskilled labor. From a broader perspective, the migrants occupy the jobs of native labor, and that increases the chances of high unemployment. So native communities feel that their basic rights are not protected, and public opinion takes a drastic shift. On the other hand, the daunting challenge of security issues cannot be ignored. Many immigrants that reach Italy's shores cannot or do not identify themselves. That poses a serious security threat to Italy in the form of terrorism and criminal infiltration. In a recent development, thousands of immigrants landed on Lampedusa last year after crossing the Mediterranean Sea by boat. According to some reports, almost 10,000 migrants landed in Lampedusa in just a week. 120 small boats arrived in the span of 24 hours at a local migrant reception center. This is more than this island's overall population. This posed a challenge for Italy to accommodate that many immigrants and their food, shelter, and health. This provoked anger among the authorities and European officials, as well as the challenge of countering it. To address this issue, Italian Prime Minister Georgia Meloni hosted a press conference with Albanian counterpart Edi Rama. In this conference, both heads of government agreed on some bilateral measures to control immigration. Meloni proposed a scheme to bring down the number of immigrants that doubled in 2023 as compared to 2022. Also, she announced plans to construct 2 migrant centers in Albania to accommodate migrants coming from the sea. She stressed to build migrant identification centers at the Albanian port of Shëngjin and a repatriation center on this island. It was quite surprising for everyone because it was the first agreement of this kind between an EU and non-EU member state. This proposal was signed for initially 5 years, and the estimated cost for this is 670 million euros. The idea is to directly shift migrants to Albania after they are picked up at sea. On top of that, it was mentioned that asylum seekers and refugees will be hosted in Albania until their asylum applications are processed. Adding to that, these centers will host 3,000 migrants monthly, and Italy hopes to extend them to 36,000 annually on a regular basis. Meloni also said that Italy will finance these centers, which will be under Italian jurisdiction. The main reason for establishing these temporary settlements is to prevent overcrowding at existing asylum centers in Italy. Not only this, but this deal aims to deter human traffickers at sea by the Italian Coast Guard or Navy, and not by some charity groups. In this scenario, Meloni's government has already tightened jail terms for human smugglers. Meloni declared this deal with Albania a historic agreement and said, "I consider this a truly European agreement, and I want to say that it shows that it is possible to work together on the management of migratory flows." Moreover, the Albanian Prime Minister also highlighted the need to help Italy in this hard time due to a special relationship between the two countries. But the question arises, what will Albania get out of this deal? For years, Albania has been seeking to join the EU bloc and is in future negotiations. But Albania doesn't meet the Copenhagen criteria to join the EU bloc yet. That's why Albania needs a more strategic partner that can help its accession to the EU. It seems Albania has jumped on the bandwagon to fulfill its interests while striking a deal with Italy. The EU Commission President appreciated the Italy-Albania deal and out-of-the-box thinking by both leaders. An interesting point in this case is that Italy's immigration deal with Albania is similar to that of Britain's deal with Rwanda. The UK has also proposed the same deal to shift refugees and asylum seekers from its borders to Rwanda, but it has faced backlash and is in court proceedings. However, Prime Minister Georgia Meloni and European Union President Ursula von der Leyen visited North Africa with an increased focus on migrant crossings. Many migrants are also coming from Tunisia to Italy. So to counter this, the EU announced a wide-ranging partnership with an investment of 105 million euros in border control. So in the context of our discussion, it seems obvious why Italy has taken strict measures to stop illegal immigrants. Besides humanitarian issues, illegal immigrants pose certain damage to a state's sovereignty and its social conditions. So in the long run, Italy's stance reflects its broader perspective on managing its security issues and political stability. What are your thoughts about it? What do you think about Italy's stance on immigrants? Let us know in the comments section. For more such videos and hot topics, stay tuned to our next video and don't forget to subscribe.